صباحكم الله بالخير. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another exciting Minds at Work session. Today is a very special session because we are going to talk about AI. There will be two separate sessions. Abdullah will start with the first. Round of applause to Abdullah.
Thank you.
And the second session, it will be me and guess who? Issam. A round of applause to Issam. حياك Abdullah. The floor is all yours.
Thank you.
No, you need that?
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Today's session is about Think AI, and I thought how I'm going to present is not explain the users or how to use AI, because we're going to spend hours and hours talking. So I thought it's good to highlight the importance and significance, because it was rolled out in kind of small phases, and no one really knew how really it impacted our how we work and how we deliver our stuff. So today, Room to Think is basically thinking of AI as a capacity multiplier, and I'm gonna approach this as an investment, where I present a problem and a solution. So thinking of AI, at GFH, I think our main constraint today, and maybe if we ask anyone in this room, what's your challenge or constraint at GFH? I think everyone's gonna agree on one thing, is bandwidth. Everyone's gonna say, well, I have 502 things on my plate that I need to deliver. We have a lot of information that's coming in, be it through emails, through, asset manager reports, research reports that are coming on a daily basis. We need to deal with multiple stakeholders, internally, externally, and so forth. And of course, a lot of things are time sensitive. With all of that, we have to make sure that we don't compromise on speed and quality. So how do we do that? And here where we think of AI, or the importance to adopt AI in our work. So again, this may be a bit theoretical and biased, because AI have done it. But if we think of our daily work, as 80% we are either drafting a memo, researching, putting things together, which takes a lot of time, and then maybe we're left with 20% with the real work, which is basically strategizing, thinking, and judging based on the information that we get. Now imagine if that 80% goes down to 30% with AI. If we think of it, that's 50%. It means that any individual, before AI and after AI, we can do 1.5x with AI. So that's 50% more productivity with AI, and this is where AI comes into play. It's important to note that AI is not here to think for us, but AI gives us more room to think on the real thing, rather than spending time on drafting, formatting slides, etc. Moving into kind of at least my personal preference on my toolkit, I would split these into two. As Abdullah, today I have my personal assistant and my analyst over here. So my personal assistant, to take as an example, my circle back. My circle back joins me with in every meeting, takes notes. At the end of the meeting, he sends me the notes summarized and with the detailed minutes, and tells me the action items. So a great tool to have. This is basically my personal assistant. And then moving to my analyst. My analyst, I have my ChatGPT as my consultant. I kind of ideate or generate ideas through my ChatGPT. If I have a research, or I need to do something, market section in my investment application or my PPM, or maybe I'm researching, a specific sector or geography, my Perplexity would help me to do that. And of course, with that, I move to Claude, which is basically preparing memos, presentations, and Excel models. And then Notebook-LM is more into the media. So for example, this presentation has been prepared by Notebook-LM within like 3 minutes. So I went into ChatGPT, generated ideas. I didn't use Perplexity for that. And then I thought, well, I use my 20%. well, what I'm going to present, what do I need to say, and I structured on that basis and moved to Notebook LM, which did it in no time. Moving to, I think what's important, and a lot of people may have missed it, is that AI is all about two things: information that you give and how you prompt that information, or you prompt against that information. Without these two, you're not going to get the right output. So you get the right output, you get to the decision making. At least you focus on the final action. With that, AI does not have the full context, and sometimes we talk to AI as if they have all the background and context on that specific matter. Needless to say, there are just few issues with AI. One is hallucination, so sometimes it mixes up data points, etc. But also we need to be careful on what we feed AI in terms of what documents, and for confidentiality and sensitive data. I know the information security, Abdurrahman is working and his team working so hard to bring AI, and I think they are onboarding Claude very soon. And he's working on an AI framework that will hopefully ease the adoption or the use of it within GFH. To conclude, and maybe I'm biased, but thinking of AI wouldn't create redundancies, maybe, but I view AI as a capacity multiplier. So today, if you're traditional, you have the domain expertise, which is great, but guess what? You're bottlenecked with how much you can deliver. If you have domain expertise with AI fluency, you're basically a high performer. So with that, I hand it over to my colleagues, the jobs, for the creativity fun part.
الله يعطيك العافية بلاسس.
Any question?
صباح الخير. Maybe go back with the slide.
It goes the partner of the key that looks this. Can you give few examples about weak prompts and strong prompts, and how could the results be?
Yeah. Okay. A weak prompt could be that I come to ChatGPT and tell him, well, I'm searching for the best stocks in the GCC. That could be kind of a weak prompt, and it will give me a very general response. So with the crisis happening, I went, for example, in Claude, how I approached it is I went to ChatGPT. I used the prompt maker through the GPTs, and I told them, this is what I want to write as a prompt. So the real prompt would be, one, you need to define his role. So tell him, act like a GCC equity research analyst. And then second, this is what I want you to do. Look at companies that are fundamentally strong, but they have been hit from a valuation or pricing perspective. And this is put them as a target. And also, I want them to be Sharia compliant. So screen them against AOFI, etc. So with that, I gave him enough information and enough context to basically articulate or put a response to me that I can act on.
Questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Abdullah.
Thank you. Thank you. Allah Yafik.
We were supposed to be wearing turtlenecks,
Yeah,
but we couldn't
we don't
find
have
any.
any turtlenecks.
And then he said, let's wear long leaves, but we couldn't find any, so we're now stuck with the normal shirts. But yes, thank you all for joining this session about Think AI. This is an AI-generated image, as you can see. What we will be covering today, and this is going to be a working session, right? Because we've done a lot of experiments, and we want you to see how we do things. So first, we will start with the AI promo video, the staff photo for the annual report, and of course, there will be a Corvid landing page, because that's me, and how we used that to create the annual report emailer, and another project, plus why we think co-work is the best tool and how to set it up quickly in a best organizational way. Yeah. So, Issam?
So yeah, so think AI not as a tool, as something you think with. Most people use it for speed. That's fine, but for us, it's more like a thinking partner. A second mind, it shifts roles depending on what we need. Creative, analytical, whatever. Every project starts. Okay,
Yeah.
that's our partner.
This is our partner, yeah? You can see Claude in the middle, maybe ChatGPT. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to know, how many of you here use ChatGPT? Amazing. All right, Claude? Okay, anything else? Okay, good to know. And Zain, so this is the thinking partner.
I will go through how I usually work to create a video with AI using FreePic, Nano Banana, Kling, 11 Labs, and After Effects to put it all together.
So usually, because it's not one tool that does it all, right? So we have multiple tools, and we have to put them and stick it together.
So every project starts the same way?
Yeah.
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming.
Everything starts with a conversation, but that always ends up as a...
This is a usual, right? This is a usual prompt. Hey, I want a website or I want something, and starts getting into, jumping into conclusions and ideas.
So you push, you challenge it until you get what you usually want. But that's, so the back and forth, that's the real process, not the first answer, the process. Because the difference doesn't come from asking again, it comes from knowing what to change. And once something feels right, you go ahead putting it together.
Yep. So this is
so this was the final. This was the final voiceover we got for the New Year video. I don't think anybody saw it. So this is the final script.
Yeah, this is the final script. We're playing the video right now, just for you to have an idea, and then we'll show you the process.
Trust isn't a headline. It's what you deliver repeatedly. Not through noise, but through presence. Through motion. Through meaning. Quietly, then all at once. Davos. We took part in high-level dialogue on what's next and what it takes to grow. At FII, we partnered with strategic players to drive long-term innovation. And at TEDx, we stood behind creators and change-makers moving the region forward. Then it comes back to what matters. We supported health, inclusion, and community through the Blue Color Run. Inside GFH, at Minds at Work, knowledge shared, connections strengthened. And finally, at the Aquatic Centre, we encouraged an active, healthy lifestyle. This year didn't just happen, it moved forward. GFH, Happy New Year.
Thank you. So, bring the mics back, yeah. We're going to show you the process, right?
So the first process, yes. So first thing we do is we go into Nano Banana on FreePic, where we create a first image and a second image, as you can see there. So the first prompt and the second prompt. So I have to decide what the first scene is and what the next scene is. So that AI connects them together. And then you get a video prompt where I connect both scenes, front and back.
So this is the prompt, right? So you explain to it how these come or stitched together.
Okay.
So let me just
Do this.
You got spaces. There you go.
So this is Spaces in FreePick.
FreePick is a platform for different models of AI, and it has a node-based advanced editing. You'll see all these lines connecting.
I just want to show you the process of how we go through it. Sorry, it's a mess because of the, with very tight deadlines. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, so was how it started. First, actually, the idea was to start with something more realistic. But then when I realized that I don't really have too much time to create realism, I decided to change it into something that has a color, watercolor kind of theme. So the process was, so what happens, this is node based. So what happens is you connect, so this is an image I got from, for example, Pinterest, which I liked. So this is the connector to get all the images to look almost the same.
Yeah. So the problem with AI is consistency, right? Image or node-based editing platforms allows consistency. And we'll see more later on with the annual report images.
And the good thing about working in spaces is you have everything in literally one space. So what happens is I create the image and the video straight away, and I don't wait for it to finish. I just go for the next one and the next. So it speeds up my work a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how do you do this?
Yeah, let me just switch back. Like this. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so once we get everything that we need, somebody will need to put that together, right? So an editing software like this, the sound design, the voiceover, and the transitions between the scenes. And once that's done, then you have the final product.
Exactly.
Right? All right, now for the photo prompting. Like the cameras, huh?
So when you connect them, goes into this timeline.
No, we after that we upload everything on After Effects, which is a software where we stitched everything together. So we place every single video for editing purposes, and then we add sound effects and music to bring it all together.
So what happens is once we are happy with the scenes, we have to upscale them because AI gives you lower quality.
So first, different tools you use.
Yeah. Very different tools.
Yeah. So for example, the voiceover you heard is from
11
a platform called 11 Labs. The music is from Envato
or Shutterstock.
And the video is generated from the image based on the
Yes.
Exactly. On FreePick.
So you put them all together, timeline and others.
Exactly.
Then
on
another
After Effects.
factor, yeah. Connecting everything and then kind of
Very,
Rough,
very,
very
very,
simple.
very simple process.
which is this.
This is
The
After
After
Effects. I would
So
have
there's-
shown you how it works, but I don't have
There
it
are a
here.
lot of files here. What you can see, these are
Yeah, you can scroll down all the
All
way.
the
So
way.
there's a lot of files.
So now for the photo prompting for the annual report.
Yeah. So
Believe it or not, these are the sketches that he did.
yeah, these are
And
the
we
sketches.
ended up using these to create, right?
Yeah. So we needed pictures for the annual report, but we couldn't get anyone because of the situation.
Yep.
So we decided to do them all in AI.
It was weird calling people. It's like, can you send me your photos?
Yes. So if you go back, you can tell. So that sketch is there.
I mean, Buchiri. So Buchiri
But here is
is
there.
drawing on a glass.
So what I did is I sketched what I wanted, put that in ChatGPT to get a prompt, and use that
Yeah.
prompt to create these images.
So
And using same things, using the node, which you can see
here.
this. So that was the first image that we got from
Shagra.
yeah, Shagra.
Yeah.
Shagra, yes.
So from that, we created a model. So these are her photos.
Actual photos.
And then this is what we created in terms of a model before moving forward. Then you can see environment. These are our office's photos. And then you have something called a JSON prompt. A JSON prompt is an advanced prompt. It just to ensure that everything is structured and AI will execute it accordingly. Because if you give AI a normal prompt, it sometimes skips the details, right? With JSON prompt, we can define the framing, the angle, the look, and the feel, right, Issam?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we connect that node with the model picture and the background, and you start getting different images.
Now, sometimes what happens is sometimes you get Shagra, but sometimes you get Shagra's sister or a cousin or a distant cousin. So it's not always perfect. You have to try, modify the model again, and then try again to get these prompts. You want to show, or this is?
No, this setting
is
good
okay.
enough, yeah.
All right. Vibe coding. Who knows what vibe coding is? Yeah. So it's basically coding with prompting. It's a bit advanced. And of course, it had to be a Corvid landing page because I had to work on that given what I know. What you see on the right is an advanced setup of AI. So what you see is an IDE, an environment, a development environment. I forgot the name of it right now. Integrated development environment, which on the right you can see Gemini, and I'm giving it prompt. I hope I'm not swearing at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have I spun within that
But Claude would
a Claude agent, and these have agent file and memory file, which we will get to later on. But this is how I'm defining the agent. I'm telling it who it is. You can see it's quite a long document over there. Who it is, what to do, what not to do, etc. And this was one of the first iterations that I really didn't like, although I gave it a scale file. So what happened later, I had to intervene and spend 4 days fixing it with AI. And this is the best way, by the way, just to build skills, right? So you've seen the landing page on the presentation. Now there is a loading bar, loading experience. It's quite long. Yeah, I have to shrink it because the screen size is huge. So instead of having a static hero image, and this is the same process we use, like a start frame with an end frame, and then create that video and get frames out of it so we can do something called on-scroll animation. So once I scroll, right, you will notice things come to the final photo. So this is before, this is after, and then as you scroll, طبعا I had to fix, or we had to fix this section a lot because AI thinks differently. And then the same thing with this. As you scroll down, there's a sticky section with the content on the left changing and then the image on the left changing. This was literally just a text according to AI. So we had to tell it, okay, no, we want a photo, we want an eyebrow, we want an icon, and it has to kind of have that typing effect. As you can scroll down, this was one of the sections that if I click that, you hear it rev. But also, we managed to connect it with the sound. So if the sound goes high, it goes to the RPM that we wanted to. So it acts accordingly. And the same thing here. I have to tell it, well, use the card feature that we can, swipe, side scrolling. Of course, there are a lot of details that were fixed here as well. Back and forth, cards. And then of course, more elements, and that didn't look that way from what you've seen on the presentation. But we took maybe 3-4 days to fix it back and forth. It had to have a human element telling it what a good design is. And from that, we created a skill file that we kept on reusing. So this is the original site on the left. And what I've showed you is the end product. So one way, the annual emailer report, we were asked to do the annual emailer report, and it was a very beautiful emailer, so we had to do it this way so everyone can see it. All right? But to break it down, we used the same skill file that we created in the landing page for the Corvette. The only difference here is I gave it extra prompts. I told it, well, okay, now we need to convert the annual report into a proper emailer. This emailer is going to be in MailChimp, so you have to do it this way because emailers and email clients read files differently. So now since we are touching, I guess, actually before,
Yeah, I can show them.
I guess before we move to this, who here remembers Freetel? Hello, my generation. I think, anyone who was born in the 90s won't remember this, maybe before. So we recreated the Freetel. Okay. With this, let's call it, okay, Joe. All right, so you log in and you connect, and it actually gives you the directory. And this is live right now. We created it, we vibe coded it to see how far we can go. Of course, we've created a lot of other things as well. But also, I was like, what if we can push this to create a native app to see if this works? And you can see, not Jack, that's me, by the way, right now. And if you can see the mobile app over here. If I press chat, not Jack wants to chat with you, except this is the very retro. So I can say hello and hello back. And then there is a call. I don't think it's going to work, or maybe it does because I'm on the same phone. Let me just call it up. You can accept. Allow while visiting the site. Yeah. There you go. We have a call, but I don't think there is a audio right now. But you can literally do and build whatever you want, given you have the right setup, you have the right skill, you know what to say in terms of prompting. Let's go back. Yeah. So we've been using Claude, to be honest. I ditched ChatGPT maybe a few months ago because I discovered what a really good agent structured system is. You can define the agent using Claude MD file. You can tell it who it is, what it is, how it is. You can give it persistent memory. The problem with AI is context and memory, right? Context, memory, and prompting. You can give it skills. An agent can have skills. You define the rules. You define what you want it to do. So this is an example of what an agent MD file, markdown file is. What to do, what not to do, always follow. This is just a short snippet. This can go to, okay, I don't recommend beyond 200 lines. I did 1,800 and now I have to do it, I have to modulate it and make it modular. And then you have the skills. You give it the tools, what it has access to. It needs to know what a good design is versus what a bad design is. The same thing here, you can see I'm defining the spacing system. We're defining the the fonts, we're defining everything within that.
And that's one of the reasons a lot of people complain about it. They put in a design and they think, okay, what I'm getting back is really bad. But it's just because you still didn't set it up right.
Yeah, you have to set it up. The thing is, when you use chat, it's an answer to a question agent. But when you use a proper configured agent in co-work, it's actually a goal to result. So the agent will do whatever it takes to give you the result. So this is what an memory MD is or looks like, because it keeps on hallucinating, right? Actually, it will always hallucinate, but you have to give it a memory. Each agent has a context window of 1 million token, and that's around 750,000 words.
Yeah.
So if you pass that, khalas, it starts hallucinating, and you have to start over again with a new session. And that's where the agent, the memory, and the skill comes into place. So that when you start a new chat, it already has context, has already memory, it has the skills. And yeah, it had to be that way. So why do we think Claude Cowork Agent Config is the best tool that you can use right now? It's because there is a folder structure. You can give it memory. You can give it whatever skill. I have, for example, an About Me folder. So it knows who I am. It knows what I do. It knows what I don't want. Don't answer me in a fluffy way like ChatGPT does, for example, right? Or go find what is the best writing practice that doesn't sound like AI and write me that skill, and I can reuse it. So I don't have to tell it the same thing every time. Khalas, it has that in its global memory, and then it will fetch it down and start spinning or giving me consistent results every time, and it will use less token, it will use less money, and this is just like one of the application. Like we said, this is what a standard chat AI, a chat in Claude or ChatGPT, and this is when you use it the proper way. So yeah, AI is there to help us. It's here to, I say it makes us on steroid, huh?
Yeah.
Right? And we have to stay relevant, right? So if we are not using this, we're behind. But also we have to configure it right for it to give us what we want. That's it.
Thank you.
So at the beginning, I thought the purpose of the session is to make it to encourage people to use AI, because it's so simple. And it's so complex. Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess to reach very specific result, okay, requires very high
Setup.
skills of knowledge of coding, okay? But to reach 85% accurate, you just need a simple prompt, I think, and maybe Claude can do that. And we are trying now Claude Enterprise at GFH. I think they started, huh?
Not.
Yeah, they're trying it now, and then they will apply Claude Enterprise, and then everybody will have access to that. Okay, so now also there is the people use it for general opinion or a quick report, I would say, and create a nice image, which you do, okay, and but I think the real value is to have a deeper analysis and quick reports. Like, for example, I was in wealth management. I was encouraging our friends and recent placement in wealth management to use Claude, okay, to profile the client, give them a very sophisticated report by uploading their statements and saying what the client wants. It really generates an amazing result, actually, and very professional. Okay, you just need to just a little bit tweak it, maybe not. Okay, and I shared some with Razi actually. I don't know if he's here with us or not. Okay, and he said, "From where you got that?" And let me tell you, the result is very close to the report I get from GB Morgan.
Inshallah.
Believe it or not. Okay, so. Made the briefing, the content, and saved a lot of time. Okay, and I think we should all use that also for deeper analysis sometimes. Okay, I always discuss with the corporate communication that how we analyze the behavior of the visitors, the behavior of the companies, the behavior. And this requires also deeper prompts, okay? But I know if you just can summarize what's the best tool that you would recommend to make people's lives simpler?
Sure, sure. I think
and maybe also following this session, maybe to share a summary with recommended app for each specific from the artwork of corporate communication and also from the investment
Of course.
side. Yeah?
Absolutely.
And we're trying to build some kind of guideline that we can share with everyone once we're done.
Yeah.
So that once you use it for any kind of design, it actually gives you the look and feel that you're actually looking for. So that's one thing that we're actually working on right now. Because like he said in the beginning, it's a lot of back and forth to get those perfect guidelines. But I think we're going to have something working very soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
I found for images, I found the crop is better. Yeah,
Well, usually Nano Banana is right now is the one to get
So-
the images. Yani the image you've seen of us is mostly Nano Banana.
Yeah.
and then GPT is like for this quick opinion.
Quick
GPT is quick opinion. But the good thing about GPT is if you've been using GPT for so long, so you have a history. That history, if you take it into Claude, so you don't start from fresh.
Yeah.
So that's another way.
So maybe to answer your question, the best tool we think is for everyday use for work, it's Claude, but not the chat. Claude Cowork, because it has access to system, you can create a system taking notes. So whenever you take notes, whenever you're meeting, whenever you have it knows, it has a bit of context. So when it starts, it doesn't have to go look for other documents or other session context that it doesn't, have. So you instruct it once, and then it starts like, it knows what it wants. It knows what to do.
And there's the agents that you can build for yourself. So there's another thing where you build your own agents.
Yeah, that's next level.
That's
So-
next level, but it actually really works very well.
Yeah.
Because they know everything.
And then-
Just make sure that the enterprise, everybody gets access to the enterprise, so that some guidance documents.
yeah.
Yeah, like a framework maybe. Yeah.
And also, because people say, okay, what I'm supposed to use it for, I don't know, fund admin, for example. Okay. No, there are deeper things you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Just try load the data and ask Claude, what can I do? How can I enhance? I'm sure they will give some recommendations. So, IT, HR, I'm sure there are deeper. Development, project management. Okay, how is it supposed to enhance? Ask Claude, how can you enhance? I'm in this field. What can I give you data and how can I take it to the next level? It will give some recommendation.
Absolutely. And the good thing about Claude is when you use it to build something, for example, the way I built the site, by the end, I tell it, okay, now since I showed you how things are done, build a skill for this. So it will create that skill and save it into your file. So whenever you need it, you will reuse it. All right, any questions? All good? We're set? Well, thank you all for coming.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you
Thank you
next
very
week,
much.
inshallah. Any jobs?